2025 was an incredible year for us at Second Wind and for gaming. We've played some real bangers over the last 12 months, and we want to share our favorites with you.
On paper, Absolum is exactly my cup of tea, but I dragged my feet about trying it out until a video edit I was working on required some extra footage from the game. An attempt for a quick 20 minutes of footage turned into a 2-hour play session, and from that point forward, I was hooked. Absolum is a beat-em-up from Dotemu, and has studied classic games in the genre and started to bring the action forward in time to glorious results. Each of the 4 playable characters are unique and incredibly fun to play. Movement is swift, and a suite of defensive options like dodges, parries, and clashes give you tons of versatility right out of the gate. Its roguelike structure borrows from the Hades model of diegetically explaining your constant respawns and inserting just enough variety into each run to never make retracing your steps feel stale. I was sure I'd like Absolum at first glance, but I didn't expect to love it as much as I do now.
Out of all the games I've played this year, I've easily put the most time into Rematch. From the moment I played the open beta, I was hooked. Slowcap, who also made Sifu by the way, took the sport of soccer and didn't just make an arcade game out of it, but really invented a whole new way to play the sport by basically making it an action game at its core. Rematch is easy to learn, but hard to master. With quick matches and addictive team play, Rematch has been the go-to game for my friends and I this year. Matches are intense, full of highlight reel moments and plenty of laughs at the expense of confused goalkeepers. With Season 2 having just launched, I have no plans to stop playing Rematch anytime soon.
2025 really was a banner year for sequels and DLCs, wasn't it? I think some people have forgotten just how good Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector is because it was released in January, but it remains an absolute standout on my personal list. Like its predecessor, Citizen Sleeper 2 boasts beautiful writing, compelling characters, and dice-driven mechanics that give gameplay a distinctly TTRPG-like feel. It also provides your sleeper with a ship to captain, allowing you to travel between space stations, recruit a crew, and take on contracts to earn money and advance different storylines, all of which augment the sequel's sense of scope, stakes, and investment in NPC relationships when compared to the first game. Even as someone with an irrational and mostly unexplainable bias against games set in space, I cannot deny that Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector is simply stellar.
For Donkey Kong Bananza, Nintendo took their family recipe for the perfect 3D platformer that they've been refining for decades. Fun exploration, satisfying locomotion, charming worlds, and a high skill ceiling. They then evolved the whole shebang by allowing your DK to smash through any and every colorful chunk of the game's worlds, blurring the line between destruction and creation in some truly remarkable ways. The amount of freedom and player expression handed over to us in Bananza reshapes how I approached each and every challenge present throughout the game's various biomes. Fold in some excellent tunes and a deeply sweet bond between DK and Pauline, and you're left with one of the year's very best. And like 2024's Astrobot, it proves that there's still plenty of life left in 3D platformers. Simply put, Donkey Kong Bananza is the reason to own a Switch 2 in 2025.
Despite the long wait and the meme-worthy amounts of hype, I never got the sense that Team Cherry's follow-up to Hollow Knight Silksong, wouldn't be able to match that first game's high bar. But I was worried that more recent releases like Bow Path of the Teal Lotus or Nine Souls were not just able to reach Hollow Knight's bar, but surpassed it, leaving Silksong looking late to the party if it was only just as good. Thankfully, not only did Silksong outdo its previous game, it evolved its exploration and combat in a way that felt tailor-made just for me. As Hornet, you're much faster and far more mobile, zipping in and out of dangerous areas or boss attacks with a grace only equal to the pain a mistake will cost you. The insane challenge only sharpened my appreciation for Silksong's gameplay, as every victory achieved and new ability gained motivated me to scour every corner of the game's massive map. Boasting incredible music, improved artwork, and deeper storytelling, Silksong is the very embodiment of good things coming to those who wait.
From the moment I first saw blueprints behind closed doors at GDC 2024, I knew the game was going to be something special. Developer Tondra Ross walked Yahtzee and I through the core gameplay loop, showed us the complexity of its systems, and then told us he made the game entirely by himself. And I was blown away by it. When I finally got to play blueprints for myself this year, I couldn't put it down. There's really no other game like it. Adding in light deck building and roguelite elements to a narrative puzzle game was really a stroke of genius game design, and made it almost impossible to get stuck in one particular spot as you would in many other puzzle games. I can't wait to see what Thunder Russ and the developers who will inevitably be inspired by Blueprints come up with next.
Blippo Plus is network television from a faraway solar system that looks a little like America in the 1980s. Originally developed by Yacht, Telefantasy Studios, and Noble Robot for the Playdate, it was released for PC and Switch this year. Blippo Plus might not hit the threshold of interactivity for a lot of folks. You play by channel surfing, and there's not a lot to it. But it does capture an essentially extinct experience. Not just network TV, but network TV in the throes of a major news story. Events like the O.J. Simpson chase and trial used to grip the nation, and every part of TV referenced it. The news covered it, daytime talk shows discussed it, late-night hosts cracked jokes, and very special sitcom episodes referenced it. TV was a live event, and you had to tune in to be part of it. For Planet Blip, that event is a wormhole called The Bend connecting us, so that we can peek at the media of this strange universe. The teen talk, the cooking channel, the gossip, it's all there. Blippo Plus mimics the emotional and physical experience of just tuning in. I can't think of another game that does something so experimental so successfully, and I can't think of another structure than a game to offer this experience.
It might seem like cheating to put a late 90s PS1 classic on the list of the best games of 2025, but if any chance to sing the praises of Final Fantasy Tactics should present itself, I'm contractually obligated to start warming up my vocal cords. The good news is that the Ivalice Chronicles remaster of Tactics takes Square's iconic game and transforms it into the best and most player-friendly version of said classic that we've ever seen. Ramza's journey first hit right in the middle of Square's legendary PS1 run. Fold in new features like excellent voice acting, a viewable turn order, and the ability to speed up battles, alongside the already excellent story and incredibly deep gameplay, and you have something that remains a must-play nearly 30 years later.
I've been a pretty vocal hater of the turn-based JRPG genre. For me, there's always been a disconnect between watching the action on screen, yet being forced to fumble through menus to make it happen. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 from Sandfall Interactive broke open the doors that games like Chrono Trigger and Sea of Stars only let me peek through, by making those same turn-based battles into reactionary, parry-heavy gauntlets on par with Sekiro. But more than that, it created unique mechanics for each party member that encourages you to dig into their intricacies to succeed, essentially refusing to let any part of his turn-based battles feel passive. But if Expedition 33's intricate combat hooked me, then its amazing art design, incredible music, fantastically paced out story, and endearing characters solidified it as one of my favorite gaming experiences this year. If more JRPGs begin to adopt just some of what Expedition 33 achieved, then you can easily add a new fan of the genre to their ranks.
I've long been interested in getting into the extraction genre, but none of the games available have really hooked me. Most are military themed. I've often felt like I spend more time in their menus than I do in the game, and the barrier to entry skill-wise is very high. Truth be told, I wasn't all that excited about Arc Raiders either, but word of mouth got me to load it up, and I quickly fell in love with it. The game does such a great job of onboarding players into the loop of what an extraction game is, and isn't overly punishing out of the gate as you learn to play. The community, at least in solos, has been very friendly, the robots you encounter throughout the world are fun to fight, and the loot system is simple enough that you don't have to spend an ungodly amount of time in menus sifting through different vendors. I've had countless memorable player-driven moments in Arc Raiders since I started playing, and I don't plan to put it down anytime soon.
Of all the games I played this year, Hades 2 was far and away the most addicting, taking the fantastic roguelite loop of Hades and polishing it to near perfection. Boons and Keepsakes feel more balanced, Omega moves add some welcome depth to the general flow of combat, and the Arcana cards are a more interesting meta-progression system than the Mirror of Night due to their different synergies and activation conditions. And let's not forget that there are 2 different paths to choose from, complete with their own scenery, resource types, enemy varieties, and bosses. The music, character art, and voice acting are also incredible as usual, and I loved seeing some beloved familiar faces like Dionysus and Artemis, and getting to know some new favorites like Hestia and Narcissus. The one aspect of Hades 2 that I felt was weaker than Hades was its narrative, but I'm more than willing to look past that because, in addition to all the points mentioned above, Hades 2 gave us them. I'm desperately hoping Supergiant releases some Scylla and the Sirens merch because I'm their second biggest fan. The first being Millenoi, of course.
Skate Story is the most exciting new entry in the extreme sports genre since the Y2K flavored combo of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Jet Set Radio. Turns out, the secret to injecting new life into a beloved formula is to send it straight to hell. From developer Sam Eng and publisher Devolver Digital, Skate Story is an amalgam of elements that shouldn't work on paper, but in execution coalesce into something truly special. The vibes are off the chart, the soundtrack by Blood Cultures is a banger, the philosophical musings are memorable, and the love for all things skating can be felt across every single second of your journey through hell. I was fully on board with this one the moment I saw its reveal trailer, and I'm thrilled that it completely shattered my expectations. Turn off the lights, turn up the volume, and give yourself over to one of the most memorable experiences of the year.
I'm a sucker for all things medieval and historical. Movies like Kingdom of Heaven, King Arthur, The Last Duel, Braveheart, you name it, I've probably watched it. Growing up, I had always dreamed of a developer making a big medieval epic, so when the original Kingdom Come Deliverance Kickstarter was announced, it was literally a dream come true for me. While I adored the first game, it's undeniable that it was quite rough around the edges. The sequel though, oh man, I could just gush about this game all day. I loved every minute of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. From the storytelling, the open-ended quest design, the lack of hand-holding letting me just meander through the beautifully crafted world, and end up stumbling on a quest with a guy with a magical arrow sticking out of his head, it was just a wonderful experience. Warhorse Studios smoothed out pretty much every complaint I had from the first game, and crafted a game that I couldn't put down this year. It's my personal game of the year, and one of my favorite games I have ever played.